It is very well known that fast food places such as McDonald's and Burger King are very unhealthy for you, but just looking around the street would make you think otherwise if you didn't know any better. In cities and even some larger towns, almost every corner you turn, there is a fast food restaurant. This wouldn't be as much of a problem if there wasn't an issue with overeating or binging in North America. More than half of Canadians eat takeout at least once a week, and almost 30% of Canadians are obese and more are overweight. It's not bad to have a little extra fat on your body, not at all. But how does the fast food industry contribute to the rise of obesity? Let's take a look and compare McDonald's and A&W's advertising and the tactics they use to keep you coming back.
They're here. McDonald's best burgers ever. They're hotter, with the cheese deliciously melted. And they're juicier, with the patties cooked to juicy perfection. Yes, they're tastier, with a pillowy, soft, golden bun. They're... Rubble. Looks like we've been hamburgled.
This ad was kind of uncomfortable for me to watch because it's like it's putting the food on a pedestal almost. Like there's angels singing in the background. He's going, oh, so delicious. It's gross. I don't like it personally, but I can see how people would be attracted to that kind of advertisement because you see how they're laying out the food. It's almost as if they're treating it as if it's a delicacy. When they're cooking it, they're showing like slow-mos and panoramas of it just being personally gross because it shows, oh, it's so juicy, and then it's being cooked in grease. I don't like that, but it's definitely attractive to the general viewer, the way they format it and the way they put the burger. And also, they imply it's good enough to steal. The whole thing is about the burglar wants it. And that's going to be like, oh, well, it's great. Everybody wants it. So people are going to go.
The new A&W Spicy Dill Pickle Mama Burger. So pickly. So juicy. So delightfully saucy. See what I did there?
This one was a little less uncomfortable for me because it's more like, oh, you should go buy this burger right now, rather than, oh, it's so juicy, that's gross to me. But, yeah, again, it puts emphasis on the juice, which a lot of fast food companies do, but they're saying, oh, it's so juicy, you want it, yeah. The burger, again, is very videogenic. It makes it look absolutely amazing, like, oh my gosh, this is appealing to my taste buds, which it is. I will go into it later. Yeah. And most of the advertisements follow the exact same formula. It's trying to make consumers as hungry as possible so they go to their restaurant rather than McDonald's or Burger King or A&W or wherever else. Also, I hate Burger King ads where they go, rah, rah, rah. I don't know why they do that. I haven't seen any other like fast food company do that. That's just their own thing, and it makes me not want it. Yeah, they essentially lure their customers to the restaurant using these ads to ensure they have new people become their regulars. Humans have evolved to want and crave for foods high in fats and calories as we used to need it for survival. But now that we don't need it, we eat an abundance of foods that are just not good for us. Fast food industries profit off of this by pumping their foods filled with these chemicals, which make people release neurotransmitters such as dopamine and oxytocin. I hope I pronounced that right. This makes us experience the bliss point, where we're absolutely satisfied and happy with the bite we just took. This is caused by putting the right amount of sugar into the fast food, and a lot of people are like, I don't taste sugar. There's sugar in there. There's more than the white sugar we always have. There's a few different. I don't know the exact type they put in it. There's sugar in there. That's not good for you. And as good as this might sound, as good as this might sound, this inspires people to develop dependencies on these foods, as many people might use them as comfort foods. And these dependencies cause food addictions. In my opinion, by purposely manufacturing your food to make people feel addicted to it is definitely an issue. And they do that. because they actually had people in labs making it so it's absolutely amazing every bite you take, which is not good. Ever since fast food restaurants came into play, there has been a significant increase in overweight and obese people. It was unclear exactly when the first fast food restaurant opened in Canada, but they became more popular in around the 60s and 70s. This graph shows a clear indication of obesity rising around the same time as fast food restaurants became more popular, just among children, not even adults. This codependency on food has shaped us as a society, as most of it is fast food. This codependency on food has shaped us as a society. Many people are looking for these fast foods. If you see mukbangers, they eat massive amounts of foods. You can see their faces. They look absolutely enthralled, pleasured by the food. I don't like that word. But it's definitely become a real problem where the food industry is essentially taking advantage of these people who are going through a rough patch in their life or whatever may be happening. When you think of a cold drink, what do you think of? Coca-Cola, a Pepsi, maybe even a root beer. Coca-Cola is known for being very unhealthy. With its copious amount of sugar and its teeth-rotten chemicals, everyone loves it. And while I was making the script, I was actually drinking a Zero Coke, so I'm not exempt from these rules. I suck too. You don't suck if you know what I mean. These companies have a grip hold on the general population due to their also very addictive properties. They recently have been trying to advertise themselves as healthy and able to go with every meal. Ow. Eyebrows raise when people realize what they use for the substitute for sugar to make their Coke healthy. Aspartame is debated on whether or not it should be ethically used as an artificial sweetener or if they should be used at all. Artificial sweeteners are known to have the same or even a worse addicting effects as sugar by itself. A quote from the Cleveland Clinic says, "If eating sugar sets off a firework in your brain, artificial sweeteners light up your system like closing time at Disney World. Confetti is flying, music is blasting, love is in the air." When somebody feels all these good feelings, as we discussed earlier, they tend to reach for more and more to try to top that first feeling. It shouldn't be bad because it's low calorie. That's what Coke wants you to believe. In fact, they want you to believe it so much that they would be willing to pay nutritionists and dietitians to call WHO's article on the possible effects of aspartame clickbait and fear-mongering. Dietitians and nutritionists are being paid to discredit trusted sources such as WHO. Paying these trusted sources to discredit any possible evidence that goes against their company is manipulative, and if they're trying to steer eyes away from paying these trusted sources to discredit any possible evidence that goes against their company is manipulative, and as if they're trying to steer eyes away from these things. Energy drinks. Energy drinks usually have copious amounts of sugar and copious amounts of caffeine, with the addition of being heavily marketed towards children. Even just a glance at their cans and you can see the appeal to teenagers. It's a cool, tasty way to rebel with their brightly colored cans and addictive caffeine. These large amounts of caffeine are said to cause heart issues, seizures, and increased anxiety, as well as it being incredibly addictive because of the caffeine and the sugar. This being clearly marketed towards a younger demographic shows that these companies don't care about the health of others. If they can outdo their competitors with more taste and more caffeine, then they will get more sales, even if it's kids on the end of the rope that's being strangled. In conclusion, I think it's fair to say that the food industry has definitely contributed to the rise of obesity and unhealthy eating habits and drinking habits, which affect a lot of North America. I think to combat this, we should start to think about where our money going to and what we're doing with our bodies, but It would be nicer if fast food industries would stop. Yeah, so thank you for watching. I did this for a school project. Yeah.